الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها النبي إذا طلقتم النساء فطلقوهن لعدتهن وأحصوا العدة واتقوا الله ربكم لا تخرجوهن من بيوتهن ولا يخرجن إلا أن يأتين بفاحشة مبينة وتلك حدود الله ومن يتعد حدود الله فقد ظلم نفسه لا تدري لعل الله يحدث بعد ذلك أمرا. فإذا بلغن أجلهن فأمسكوهن بمعروف أو فارقوهن بمعروف وأشهدوا ذوي عدل منكم وأقيموا الشهادة لله ذلكم يوعظ به من كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر ومن يتق الله يجعل له مخرجا ويرزقه من حيث لا يحتسب ومن يتوكل على الله فهو حسبه إن الله بالغ أمره قد جعل الله لكل شيء قدرا. واللائي يئسن من المحيض من نسائكم إن ارتبتم فعدتهن 3 أشهر واللائي لم يحضن وأولاة الأحمال أجلهن أن يضعن حملهن ومن يتق الله يجعل له من أمره يسرا. ذلك أمر الله أنزله إليكم ومن يتق الله يكفر عنه سيئاته ويعظم له أجرا. أسكنوهن من حيث سكنتم من وجدكم ولا تضاروهن لتضيقوا عليهن وإن كن أولات حمل فأنفقوا عليهن حتى يضعن حملهن فإن أرضعن لكم فآتوهن أجورهن وأتمروا بينكم بمعروف وإن تعاسرتم فسترضع له أخرى لينفق ذو سعة من سعته ومن قدر عليه رزقه فلينفق مما آتاه الله لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا ما آتاها سيجعل الله بعد عسر يسرا. وكأين من قرية عتت عن أمر ربها ورسله فحاسبناها حسابا شديدا فحاسبناها حسابا شديدا وعذبناها عذابا نكرا فذاقت وبال أمرها وكان عاقبة أمرها خسرا أعد الله لهم عذابا شديدا أعد الله لهم عذابا شديدا فاتقوا الله يا أولي الألباب الذين آمنوا قد أنزل الله إليكم ذكرا رسولا يتلو عليكم آيات الله مبينات رسولا يتلو عليكم آيات الله مبينات ليخرج الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات من الظلمات إلى النور ومن يؤمن بالله ويعمل صالحا يدخله جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا قد أحسن الله له رزقا الله الذي خلق 7 سماوات ومن الأرض مثلهن يتنزل الأمر بينهن لتعلموا أن الله على كل شيء قدير وأن الله قد أحاط بكل شيء علما.
As the gender war rages on, in order to keep the peace, we must discuss the exact facts. Welcome to Ex-Faktly. I'm your host, Saudi Mam. Remove your shoes, enter upon your right foot, upon the right state of mind. Bi'idhnillah. Assalamu alaikum. Topic: no tip for you. If restaurants were like modern relationships. If restaurants were like modern relationships. What is the comparison? Well, the same thing is said 1,000 times a day, even more. But the wisdom or the dynamism is in using different examples and parables. Allah Ta'ala in Quran uses many parables in order to explain a thing. Muhammad SAW would use comparisons and parables in order to explain a thing. And I am not above explaining things by parable or example. Let's look at this. No tip for you. When you hear about no tip, you think about bad service. Bad service. And we'll use the example of the waiter or the waitress, or just to be inclusive, we say wait staff. Now, when you go and look at the problems in relationships, many times couples will go to a therapist or some other arbitrator. This is Muslim and non-Muslim. Of course, the Muslim is limited to individuals with knowledge of deen so that we would not be led astray. But even when it comes to issues within the marriage and the shoes, someone has made nashaza, you, which means to rise above their station, or to go to extremes even, relationship wise. So you would have someone from her side, someone from your side to listen to both sides of the argument and try to come to an amicable agreement, settlement, and to make peace between the two. I would venture to say boldly that the problem with a lot of relationships, as anyone would tell you, they say communication is king. Communication. But what should be communicated and to whom? This is the issue. Now, when it comes to the gender disparities, what we have is that men are saying we want this type of woman, and women are saying that men are not of the caliber to deserve that type of woman. I don't think the women are listening to the men, and I think the men have shut out the women. I think the men have shut out the women as far as trying to listen to them, to understand. They have drawn a line in the sand and have taken what they call the red pill, or even more extreme than that. Let's get to it. You go into a restaurant and you are seated in a certain section. We can say being seated in a certain section will basically be your scale of individual or scale of mate that you can attract or you can have. Some women, and I'll use the women in this regard for this show in this scenario. Some women are VIP. Some women are VIP exclusive, and you have to, in order to be seated in an area, you have to qualify for that area. Some restaurants are suit and tie. Some restaurants, if you have sneakers on, no matter if they are $300 Jordans or what have you, or some Yeezys or whatever you want to call them, or some big baller $800 shoes, you know, they won't allow you in there with tennis shoes on. You have to have a suit and tie. And if you don't, if you have a tie and a nice button-down shirt, at some restaurants they'll offer you, a jacket. Here's a dinner jacket you can use while you're here. But all of that is to keep the ambiance, okay? Certain women are used to, higher quality of things, higher quality of mates financially, so on and so forth. So they don't like to go lower than that, okay? And we understand that. So where you're seated in this scenario means a lot because, a lot of people these days are attracted to what they are attracted to. So they seat themselves in a certain position. Some people will say, I will only marry this type of woman. I'm only attracted to this type of woman. I've heard brothers tell me they're not attracted to a certain nationality of women, which is not a problem, Fankihu mataba lakum min nisa. Marry those who seem suitable to you or who you like among the women. It's not a problem, okay? So if you're not attracted to something, that is your right. It is your right, male or female. So now you're seated. You're seated in your prospective sphere of the mates, in this case, women, that you can actually choose from. So the wait staff comes over and says, let's get started with drinks. What would you like to drink? And they are asking you, what do you like to drink? Why? Because they don't know. They don't know. They could offer you, would you like to drink this? Would you like to drink that? They can offer that, but in the reality, what you want, what you say you want, is king. Is king in that scenario. What you say you want. So they ask you, what would you like to drink? And they take down your drink order, and they say, I will be back with your drinks shortly. And they come back with exactly what you asked for in a drink. Now we know there are those cases where someone would say, I'll take a Coke, and they say, no, we only serve Pepsi. Or you'll say, I'll take a Sprite, and they say, no, we have 7 Up or Sierra Mist or what have you. So we understand that. We understand that. But that restaurant that you're seated in that particular area, whether it's the basic seatings, a VIP or what have you, that restaurant serves a certain product. So before you entered, you knew what they served. There are some variations and possibilities within that because there's a menu. There's a menu. But when you order from the menu your drink, you expect to get it back exactly that drink. Unless unless that restaurant doesn't have exactly what you want, they say, what about this substitution? What about this? And this happens in the courting world. I won't say the dating world, the courting world. When you are looking for a mate, male or female, it happens. But they bring you back what you all agree to or decide upon. This is like in the matter of sit down with the wali and so on and so forth. You're negotiating things, you're offering a dowry, you're offering a dowry, and and you're negotiating things. Okay. Sometimes we simp out and ask them, "What would you like as a dowry?" It's allowed, but it's a simp move. It's really a simp move. Um, Women like men to be decisive, even if they say, "Oh, he doesn't." When I was married to him, he never allowed me to pick the restaurant. Well, because you probably would take an hour or 30 minutes to decide. You'd probably be halfway to the restaurant. You probably would change your mind. He knows you. He knows you, so he would pick the restaurant. Okay, but nevertheless, so the wait staff comes back with the drinks, give you the exact drink that you ordered, without whatever y'all negotiated. Then they ask you, what would you like to eat? Let me get your orders now. What would you like to eat? And you perused the menu. You knew the possibilities. Okay, you perused the menu, and what happened? You order exactly what your palate is accepting at that particular time. Now, when you were younger, more viral individual, you probably had dreams of, oh, I want 18 to 26, virgin. You had all these speak fluent Arabia, and all, you probably had a bunch of expectations, okay, or requirements. And then when you got in your late 20s or 30s, then you said, okay, now my age bracket has moved from 25 to 40, so based on where you at, where you're stationed, or where you're seated in life, your age, your experience, so on and so forth, that changes what you will order or what you require from the restaurant you will enter, what type of restaurant you will enter, restaurant in quotations, and it also will modify what you will order from the menu, and it modifies the menu itself. So, so the wait staff asks you, what would you like, and you order exactly what you want. If they're all out of that thing, then the wait staff will let you know, hey, we don't have that tonight, or that's on the lunch menu. We're at dinner time now, or vice versa. They even will go to the back, come back and say, my apologies, this is not available. Could we suggest this? Okay. And it's up to you to accept it or not. It's up to you. We're going to get to how modern relationships reflect this scenario. We're going to get to this scenario first. So the wait staff is saying, what would you like to order? You order what you like. You expect that wait staff to bring back exactly what you ordered. You don't want any surprises, okay? We have been in restaurants where we have ordered uh, shrimp scampi or ordered this, and they brought back something else. They mixed the orders. They mixed them up. Or the wait staff, you got these waiters that will write down everything, appreciate it. And you got the ones that submit everything to memory. You'll have a party of 5. They will submit everything to memory and bring back everything that you ordered. And sometimes they make a mistake therein, which is human, but they're grinding. You can see them working. Okay, you appreciate the professionalism. So they bring back exactly what you ordered, and you expect that to be on your plate. Okay, and if you after partaking, you know what I'm saying, after you've masticated some of that food, what happens? You may not like it. You may say, "Oh, this is not. Oh, nah, I like my shrimp Alfredo. I'm used to the way my mama made it. This right here, I don't know what this is. You know, I'm used to my this tasting like that, or so on and so forth. It's not quite what you expected from the restaurant, okay, or what your palate wanted. So you would tell them, hey, wait, waiter, I don't want this. This is not. It doesn't appeal to my palate. So the wait staff would take it away, you know. I guess if you finish less than half of it, you know, or you only took a couple of bites, they would take it away and they'll strike it from your bill. They'll ask you, is there anything else we can provide for you? Because they're still trying to sell the service, okay? They're still trying to sell the product. And then you will say, yay or nay, I'm good, man. You know, I really like that particular thing, but I don't like the way you guys put it together. No offense, you know, whatever. So that's what it is. At the end of the meal, if everything went well or didn't go well, at the end of the meal, here comes the tip. Here comes the bill. Excuse me. Here comes the bill. And you take the bill, you look at it, you assess it. Okay, yeah, we did order all of this. This is how much it costs. Are we going to split it? Or who's going to pay for it? So on and so forth. And then beyond that, now comes for the gratuity, the tip. Okay, here comes the tip. Sometimes the tip is in the price, 18%, so on and so forth. It's in the price because you had 5, 6, 7 party, you know, depending on the restaurant, right? So you pay the tip because the service was not just standard. See, the service was, how are you guys doing today? Is there anything I can do for you? I mean, you know, I'll make it happen. Oh, you want an extra lemon in your tea? You want, you know, they go above and beyond. You know, or they'll say, you know what? Look, we have this new appetizer that we have. I tell you what, guarantee you're gonna like it. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring it. I've had this happen. I'm gonna bring it. You're gonna eat from it, and if you don't like it, you don't pay for it. Don't worry about it. But be honest, if you like it, then you pay for it. Okay, yeah, let's do that. You know, because you can't really decide on the appetizer. Whatever happened, they're trying to promote this certain appetizer. Then you pay the tip, and the tip will vary 15, 16, 17, 20, 25%. I mean, they doing it big now. They got, you know, they got the, you know, you ever see them flip the register around on you, flip the screen around on you. They got these new things now, and they set the tip. It'll say no tip, it'll say 20, 25, 30%. They could set whatever percentage they want, you know. So if that's how it works. But anyway, usually at the better restaurants, they bring it back. You know what I'm saying, you know, they bring it back to you know, the table, and then they would take your card and they would go up and cash you out. I forgot what type of service they call that. But nevertheless, that's the restaurant experience. Now, how uh if modern relationships, if restaurants reflected modern relationship, let's look how that restaurant experience would go. You would walk into the restaurant not knowing what they sold, not knowing what they provided, what their service was. You would sit down without a menu. Your waiter would take long to come over, and when he did come over, what would happen? You will order this particular drink. Then when you get it, you sip it. You say, "This is not what I ordered. You know, this is something different." Okay. They will sit you right by the kitchen door, right by the restroom. You know, the unpreferred, or right by the entrance, the unpreferred seatings. Uh, you will order your food. It would take long to come out, and when it did come out, it wouldn't be exactly what you ordered. There'll be something off from it. Okay. And then the bill would come. You would look at the bill, and I've done this at restaurants. You look at the bill. You say, well, I didn't order this. What is this? I didn't order this. What is it? Oh, I'll take it off. My bad, or so on and so forth. We only ordered one of these, or you know, what have you. And then at the end of the day, you would be like, well, service wasn't so good. I'm not going to tip. Okay, but that's the negative restaurant experience. It has happened. Let's move it and compare it to modern day relationships. In modern day relationships, you don't know what you're going to get. I'm not saying all. This could be just a percentage, but it is prevalent because many individuals are experiencing this. male and female. Okay, Muslims and non-Muslims are experiencing this. Basically, you go into a place expecting seafood, and it's soul food. You go into a place expecting a barbecue, and it's a fried chicken joint. So the expectations of entering that restaurant, or entering that courtship, it's all off. You thought you were gonna get, let's use social media. She posts covered. She's always posting Quran and Sunnah, and you finally get the moment where you are going to phone her and talk to her. Not just texting or simping on her post, but you get to the point where you're going to actually talk to her, and you get on the phone with her, and she's like, "Assalamu alaikum. Hold on one second. Y'all effing kids, sit down, and I'm tired of this essing. Da 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 da. Oh, I'm sorry about that. These kids just work my nerve. How are you today?" You're like, "Ooh, that's a bad sign right there. Cursing the kids, you know, like basically you went in thinking that, hey man, sounds like a good sister. She always posting Quran and Sunnah, and posting lectures of the scholars and so on and so forth, and and then you call and she's cursing up a storm, or on the phone, and men are like that too. A lot of sisters have married, several sisters have married brothers that weren't that didn't come as advertised. They had soul food in the front, but had seafood inside, or vice versa. This has happened. So you walk in this place, you don't know what they serve. Now there's a restaurant. I don't know how many restaurants or how many mimic this in Morocco. Uh, Downtown Morocco, went into a restaurant to eat with my wife, and you sit down. There's no menu. You basically going to eat what they bring you. It's good, but it was an experience. It was an experience. This scenario, we can compare this to what? Arranged. Arranged marriages. It's going to be good. She's going to be pretty because you get to see her, but you don't know quite what you're ordering, but it's arranged, and she comes from a good background. She comes from a good Muslim family, you know? So basically, you don't get a chance to order and modify, what goes into upon your palate, into your palate, but it's good. It's good. That's why arranged marriages are the strongest of them. People say, "Oh man, there's no love." Well, stop worrying about love. Allah Ta'ala says love comes after. You know what I'm saying? Love comes after. You know what I'm saying? Made you mates, and then made love between you. Mates came first, and then the love came after. We're too infatuated with love, and a guy could be somebody you don't desire, and he drives by in a certain car. Oh, now you love him. You know what I'm saying? Now you love him. It happens. So nevertheless, so you're in this restaurant now, okay? It wasn't exactly what you expected, but you say, well, let me hold on. I don't feel like driving. I don't feel like wasting gas time. I'm already here. Let me see what the menu is about. So they bring out the menu, okay? They break out the menu. And you look at the menu and said, you know, well, let me start with the drink. Okay, I'll take this. And they you order 7 Up or Sprite, right? They bring you back Sierra Mist, which is lighter. I like it. Can't be drinking it, but I like it. So you sip it, you say, is this Sprite? Is this 7? What is this? Oh well, that's really Sierra Mist, but it's all the same. No, no, I ordered what I like. I ordered what my palate will accept. But see, that's the thing with relationships also. They think that it's all the same. It's the same when people say, marry a Muslim woman. Not all Muslim women are the same. You should be telling me marry a good Muslim. Don't tell me just marry any Muslim woman. I've married any Muslim woman in the past, and I have scars to prove it. I'm saying not physically, but I have scars to prove it. It wasn't a good deal. Being Muslim is not sufficient. Being Muslim is not sufficient. You have to be a practicing Muslim, a striving Muslim, a sincere Muslim. Okay, a Muslim that understands their deen, which means you have some knowledge of your deen, at least base knowledge. So again, uh, they're bringing you Sarah Mist, and it's not. what it was. You say, okay, oh look, okay. I'm hungry. I'm here. Don't want to waste gas and time. So you order from the menu, and then they bring out what you they bring out the order, not your order, but the order, and it's like, it's too spicy. That's like a person that talk back and all that, or whatever. It upsets your stomach. A person that causes you your problems and headaches. But guess what though? A man is not allowed to have preference. Now, in nature, we have preference. Again, fankihu, mataba lakum, minanisa, marry those whom you like among the women. Okay, men and women are allowed to have preference, but we are told, if you say, "Man, I ain't marrying no big sister. I ain't marrying no sister over this many pounds," they say, "Oh, you're fat shaming." Muslims are saying this when I have the right to marry who I like. My nature is attracted to who I'm attracted to and who I like. Okay, but in these modern times, relationship times, we're not allowed to have preference a lot of times. We're considered like a bad, individual. Some if somebody told me, excuse me, sisters have told me, I only married from the Salafi manhaj, and brothers have said, hey, brother, are you representing sister such and such? I said, yes, I am. Is she from, what manhaj is she from? I said, well, I've been knowing the sister for a minute. I don't think she with the manhaj thing. She's a Muslim. She practices the deen. Well, I'm really interested in marrying a Salafi sister. Okay, well, you should be asking a Salafi Wakil about a Salafi sister. You know what? From the local masjid that you attend. Because I know they're real selective about what masjid they attend. So again, like I said, the menu is there. When you order from the menu, you expect to get what you ordered. And if there's any modifications, you expect the wait staff to come back and say, hey, look, I know I told you I was 120, but I used to be 120, and now I'm 150, and I'm working on it. Well, that's not what you told me. You got me under false pretenses. I done flew all the way here, for 30 extra pounds that I did not, I wasn't anticipating. It goes on and on and on. But nevertheless, if they give you a menu, a lot of times you don't get a menu. A lot of times, like I said, a Moroccan restaurant in Morocco, you expect certain things. You expect there to be Salat, Ramadan. You expect there to be Zakat. Expect there to be Hajj. Expect them to stand upon La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. These are the basics that you expect. And there's variations within that. Okay? There's variations within that. Of course, you have the menses, you have the sickness, you have all of the rukhsa that would exclude you from, that. Adhering to that at times. Okay, you have finances that might limit or may make it impossible to make Hajj, so on and so forth. But nevertheless, there's always La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, and never not that. Okay, so this is the point that I'm making. If you get a menu, you order, you want exactly what you ordered from that particular menu. That's just basic. Okay, that's basic. If you want a sister of a particular persuasion, then you would gravitate toward those particular type sisters, and that's your right to do so. Okay, that's your right to do so. Then at the end of the meal, you're about to pay the bill. You're about to pay the bill, which is basically, uh, you know, I'm about to put my dowry down. I'm about to put the dowry down. I'm about to make this, after this marital contract. I'm about to make this official. Okay, and you get the menu. I mean, you get the bill, and you're looking at it. You say, "Wow, this is pretty high for the bad service and so on and so forth." And this is, like I say, this is a dowry, because a lot of times women are demanding certain dowries, or men are offering dowries, and they're getting counter offers. Okay, I've heard anywhere from paying school loans to this to that to I've heard a lot. I've heard Hajj. You can't return a Hajj in the case of khula. Can't return Hajj money in the case of khula. It's very difficult. Okay, but nevertheless, So anyway, and one sheikh said you should not ask for more than what you can return. So anyway, um, the point I'm making is that you're looking at the bill and you're gonna dispute or you're gonna pay it. You're gonna dispute it or you're gonna pay it. Let's say after the dispute, after everything is said, you pay the bill, you get married, right? But when did the tip come into play? Where does and when does the tip come into play? The tip is for the extraordinary service, the above and beyond service. That's what the tip is for. They were kind, courteous, they were quick, they were knowledgeable, They made very good suggestions. I love the appetizers they suggested. They let me know if they didn't have a certain thing and what would the modifications be. They didn't charge me for what I didn't. They did not agree with my palate, so on and so forth. You look at all these dynamics, and you're looking at the tip chart. You got no tip, 15%, 20%, 25%. The tip in my scenario is equal to this. Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, in most cases, only provide the bare minimum. He maintained and he protected on the bare minimum because he was not meant to be a person of riches in this life. He came to deliver a message. After the message, Allah Ta'ala, called him. You know what I'm saying? So, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So the issue with the tip is this. There are wives that get maintained and protected bare minimum. And a lot of them are grateful for that. And some get maintained and protected bare minimum, and they are distressed about that. You look at the example of Ismail alayhi salam and his first wife versus Ismail alayhi salam and his second wife. Okay? I'm not saying he only had two. I'm just saying this is the hadith that we know. But nevertheless, the tip would be equal to, in this scenario, of going above and beyond, giving your wives gifts, giving them allowance, giving them, above what it takes for grocery shopping, above what it takes for the bare minimum. You going above and beyond. Babe, I bought you this bracelet, this diamond tennis bracelet. Babe, I bought you these earrings. Babe, I got you this gift card for Victoria's Secrets, and so on and so forth. So you're going above and beyond. You're going above and beyond. On the anniversary, you give her a nice ring, or what have you. Or you take her out to a really, really fancy restaurant, nice dinner, what have you, and you really pamper her. You pay for a babysitter if you didn't have an old enough child to watch the children, the younger children, so on and so forth. So again, this is the tip is going above and beyond the bill. The bill is the basic bare minimum what Allah Ta'ala and His Messenger Muhammad Sallam showed us and have obligated upon us as men, okay? As Amoo, okay? Now, the tip would be going above and beyond that. You're on the way home from work, you stop to get gas, there's some nice roses being sold in front of the gas station. You buy a dozen, you buy half a dozen. You see a nice teddy bear that she'll love this. And these are just little mementos of appreciation that you would show above and beyond. And some don't have the means to do that. Some have the means to do bare minimum. And there's no fault in that because many of the Sahaba, radiallahu anhum, were like that. And Muhammad sallallahu was like that himself. Okay? The tip is for service above and beyond. Now, if you are only getting the bare minimum or you're getting bad service from your mate, then you won't tip. Some cases, the ulama say you don't have to pay the bill. The ulama say if your wife is guilty of nashaza, let's say your wife is denying you sex with no valid reason. Some ulama say you can deny her maintenance. You can deny her maintenance. And some say, it's best to keep doing the maintenance and pray to Allah that she turns the corner, you know what I'm saying, on her disobedience or what have you. Either way, both are Islamic opinion and both are fine. Both are fine. But like I said, at the end of the service, if there was bad service, no tip. If there was good service, your tip may be 15, 20, 25%, or even better sometimes. Okay? You know, you hear about people with affluence, financial affluence, economic affluence. You'll hear about them tipping more than what the bill was. You know, the bill will be $150 for them and the wife, and they'll tip $100 or tip $200 or what have you. You know, this one guy went into McDonald's. I saw videos on TikTok, YouTube, whatever it was. He went into McDonald's and said, "Can I get a cup of water, please?" The lady, this is a young Asian girl, or whatever, 30, whatever, that's young. She got him a cup of water. He gave her $100 bill as a tip. She said, "Oh no, sir, it's free." He said, "No, take that." The caption said the guy used to work in fast food for 5 years, so he grinded. He got out of there, and I guess he's making money now. But he tipped $100 for giving him a glass of water or a cup of water. So again, when a person is giving good service and going above and beyond, being really obedient, being really submissive, being really feminine with the husband, making the husband feel like a man, not studying up, not being masculine, not challenging so much. Men go through challenges all day, every day in the streets and in this and that, and there's all kind of different scenarios on the job. Sometimes we'll go through a lot. Then we come home and we have to that masculine, machismo, violent energy sometimes is matched at home, and you wonder why you don't get any tips. You wonder why you don't get any tips. If restaurants were like many modern day relationships, there would be no tips. There would be no tips. Matter of fact, the service will go down and the restaurant will eventually close. We have the same scenario with many of our Muslim sisters. Sad to say, I know the Kufa are going through it, but we have many of those sad scenarios with Muslim sisters where the service is bad, and the service is bad for that one husband, the service is bad for that next husband, and the service was bad for that next husband. Okay? And pretty soon the restaurant closed down and nobody wants you. Nobody wants you. And then the next thing, what happens? They say, "I'm gonna marry a kafir. Muslim men ain't blank. I'm gonna marry a kafir." That's what happened. You didn't deserve a tip. You didn't get a tip. Your service was bad, and people disputed the bill. Why should I pay this bill? Why should I pay this bill if the service is bad like that? And why would I leave a tip when the service is horrible? Do with this what you will. I think I've made the point. It's not all relationships. I'm never talking about all. I'm never talking about all. I'm talking about the ones that it applies to. And if it doesn't apply, as they say, let it fly. But many of us men understand what I'm talking about. And many of the women can relate to what I'm talking about. If you want the tip, go above and beyond. Be extra kind to your wife. Be extra affectionate toward your wife. Be extra helpful toward your wife. If you want a tip, be extra submissive, extra obedient, extra feminine with your husband. Don't stress him out. As much as you may want to, don't stress him out. Don't stress him out. And then you may be worthy of a tip. This has been Saudi Ma'am for Ex-Faktly. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.